Okay, chapter 13-4 is the quadratic formula, and it's in the red bubble. If x squared plus bx plus c equals 0, that's the standard form of a quadratic, then you can find the solutions to any quadratic. You can find the roots, find the solution, find the x-intercepts by using the formula x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So this is a very, very powerful formula because you can solve any quadratic, especially if it's not factorable. Okay, example 1 is 5x squared minus 8x equals negative 3, which is not in standard form, so the first thing we need to do is put it into standard form. So that's 5x squared minus 8x plus 3 equals 0. Okay, and then before we do the quadratic formula, it's easier to see if you can factor it first before you use the quadratic formula because it takes up a lot of space and a lot of time. So the first thing we do, step 1, is look for the greatest common factor of 5, 8, and 3, and there is none. The next thing is it 2 terms? No, it's not. Is it 3 terms? Yes, it is. So you're going to have to do the diamond and a box because there is a coefficient in front of the x squared. So we're going to do a diamond first to see if it's factorable. We take the first number, 5, times the last number, 3, that's 15. And then the middle number is negative 8. Okay, we find two numbers that multiply to 15 and add up to negative 8. That's negative 3 and negative 5. So this is factorable. So then you're going to do the box. The first term, 5x squared, goes in the top left. The last term, 3, goes in the bottom right. The two side numbers go here. This is negative 3x and this is negative 5x. Okay, then you're going to multiply. How do you get 5x squared? 5x times x. X times negative 3 gives us the negative 3x. 5x times negative 1 gives us the negative 5x. Double check it. 5x times x is 5x squared. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. 5x times negative 1 is negative 5x, and negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. Okay, so then our two factors are 5x minus 3 times x minus 1 equals 0. So that's the product. And then we want to find the two answers that make it equal 0. So this answer right here is positive 3/5, and this answer right here is positive 1. So x equals 1 and x equals 3/5. Example 2 is 3x squared equals 7 minus 2x. It's not in standard form, so we're going to put it in standard form. We're going to move everything to the left side, make it equal 0. So we have 3x squared plus 2x minus 7 equals 0. Okay, you're going to do the diamond to see if it's factorable. Actually, you see if there's a greatest common factor first, and there isn't. And then you're going to do 3 times negative 7, which is negative 21, on the top of the diamond, and positive 2. And there's no way we can do that because 7 times 3 is 21, and 1 times 21 is 21. There's no way we can make that equal 2. Okay, so then you're going to use the quadratic formula. In this problem, the a is the number in front of the x squared, that's 3. The b is the number in front of the x, that's 2. And the c is the last number, the constant, which is negative 7. Okay, so we're going to use 3 to negative 7. So let me go to the next page. A equals 3, b equals 2, c equals negative 7. Okay, you're going to write down the formula first because that's the way you get to memorize it. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, then you're going to plug it in. Negative b would be negative 2 plus or minus, and that's 2 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 7, all over 2 times a, which is 3. So the first thing you do is you need to plug in the a, b, and c, put it in parentheses so you know. And then we go from there. X equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared is 4. Now we have a negative here. That's a negative times a negative. So it's going to become positive. This is where you have to be careful. So that's 4 times 3 times 7 is positive. 12 times 7 is 84. Okay, so it became positive because you have a negative times a negative. All over 6. Okay, now we have x equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 88 over 6. Okay, let's write that down again. Negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 88 over 6. Okay, you have to see if you can simplify the radical 88, which you can. So let's do that on the side. The biggest square number that goes into 88 is 4. So radical 4 times radical 22 is 2 radical 22. And you can't do anything more with radical 22. So now x equals negative 2 plus or minus 2 radical 22 over 6. Okay, now what you're going to do is, let me just go back. Okay. Alright, we're going to reduce this. Okay, we're going to look at the outside numbers, not the radical, because you can't do anything with that. Okay, is there a number that goes into 2, 2, and 6? Yes, there is. 2 goes into all of them. So 2 goes into negative 2, negative 1, that goes in 1, 2 goes into 6 3 times. So the answer, once everything is reduced, is negative 1 plus or minus 1 radical 22. We don't have to put the 1 in front of that, over 3. So that is the answer for that problem.